some people will disagree. I mean,
well, because in Nigeria they expect the presidency to do everything. There's devolution.
When Leah Sharibu
Our local government chairman should be in touch with the family. Our state government should be in touch with the family, and then they can relate.
There is nothing wrong if the presidency is also in touch with the family.
And there is nothing wrong if the local government chairman is the one that starts the process and escalates this to the state government and then to the federal.
Oh, well, I know that we've seen the family cry out, in recent times, talk about...
So maybe that's a wake-up call to people at that level who should be relating with the family.
Are you also, trying to encourage them to do that, to ensure that, if you believe it's their job...
They don't need to be told. They don't need to be told. There's something like responsibility.
Mr. Additional, I'm sure you have read in the papers how a number of families were abandoned in the wake of the abduction of their daughters, particularly in Chibok. I mean, we hear a lot of tales of woe of those families. The media sometimes, does its best to bring these stories to the fore. And it doesn't look like much is being done.
And that is why you have governments at various levels. And that is why you have NGOs and other organizations, instead of just engaging in agitation and politicizing the matter. Those NGOs and agencies and organizations can also do something for the families.
Yes, they
can.
It's
not only government.
Definitely not only government. But the point is, I mean, I would think that, for instance, now the Chibok girls, they're still in the custody of the federal government, aren't they?
But rehabilitation is a process.
That's my point,
when you say custody is not the right word. Care is a better word, not custody.
Well, people take custody of their children, don't they? They take custody of their children. If you prefer to use the word care,
I prefer care than
no
custody.
problem. But some people will say that,
in English there is connotative and denotative meaning.
Okay.
Yes, the connotative meaning of that word custody you use is like under the rest.
Okay. Well, so let us say that they're in the care. If that is the case, it means that, the family will be relating directly with the federal government, which has the care of their children. Isn't that right?
Yes, but there are agencies. For instance,
which agencies are dealing with them?
In the Office of the National Security Advisor, there are agencies that deal with this thing. Then there is the Ministry of Women Affairs and the Ministry of Women Affairs. I know that's not the complete designation. They are in charge. They're in charge. And they will have units within that ministry that take care of these things. So when we talk of federal government, it's omnibus. It's omnibus. But Nigeria wants the presidency to do everything.
No, but you're not able to... when we talk about the presidency, oftentimes we're referring to the federal government. Are you able to tell us whether or not this ministries, or units under these ministries are able to relate directly with this family?
I believe so, because a couple of times the Minister for Women Affairs, Madam Aisha Al-Hazan, has briefed the Federal Executive Council on developments on the rehabilitation. So I believe they are on top of it.
Okay. Well, a number of other matters are definitely, on the front burner as well. I mean, as you rightly pointed out, it's definitely good to hear Leah Sharibu's voice. We hope that at the end of the day to be certified to be her voice. And, this seems to have brought some life back into, getting her rescue. But a number of other issues are also on the front burner. Yesterday, we heard that the National Assembly has agreed to adopt the 143 billion, requested by the presidency for INEC's budget. But I'm sure you must have been following some sort of controversy that arose as a result of two different requests. INEC seems to be asking for a lump sum of 189 billion for their own elections. The presidency seems to have broken that figure in two, asking for 143 now, and then saying we'll provide for some more in the 2019 budget. But INEC wants a lump sum. Now, it would seem that this money has just been, initially they were a little divided from what we understand as the members of the National Assembly on how to proceed on this. But now they have just gone with what the president has presented. Do you see that creating any headache of any sort?
This would be better answered by INEC because it involves them directly and they know what they need, they know what is the minimum that they can achieve what they need to achieve with. So I'll rather leave that to INEC.
Yeah, but the question will be whether or not they were consulted, because it would seem that they presented the whole budget to the president. The president, of course, did not seem to question it to say, hey, we're going to reduce it or anything of the sort. what he had done was break it down, was break it in two, saying give this now and then provide for the rest in the 2019 budget because of how, you know, big the 2018 budget was. You know, do you think that that itself is not going to cause some confusion within the preparations for INEC?
Don't let me pontificate on that issue because I don't have the full information. I follow it as a Nigerian, I follow it as a media person, but I don't have the full information because it's not strictly within my purview.
But what came to your mind when you saw that particular glitch, it was same in the request? What coursed through your mind?
You know, some Nigerians are very, very eager to see glitches or what they perceive to be glitches, particularly in this kind of administration that prides itself on integrity. Any little discrepancy they see, they begin to play it up as if somebody was trying to be smart. But when things like that come up, they should just be ironed out. Simple.
How do you think it's going to be ironed out?
I do not know. I do not know. Because it's not part of my brief to speak on it.
Who should we be speaking to on this?
INEC Rotimi is the spokesman for INEC.
You know, he's the spokesperson for the INEC chairman.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we do not know how it's going to proceed within the presidency. I mean, I'm sure the president, of course, has special advisors on National Assembly matters.
Yes.
And we do not know whether they will have more information on this.
They would.
But do you think it's something to cause us to worry?
Well, I believe that if INEC does not have what it requires to organize the elections, we should be worried because elections are central to democracy. They are crucial to a government. So I believe that if INEC does not get all that it requires to organize a good election, then we should worry.
Can you tell us what the thinking was in the presidency when this figure was broken down into?
No, I also wouldn't know. I wouldn't know because the president did not discuss it with me. If we had discussed it, I would tell you, yes, this was the thinking. And he may not likely discuss it with me. He would rather discuss it with the person who interfaces with the National Assembly. If it's the Senate, it's Senator Itayenang. Then if it's the House of Representatives, it's Honorable Kau.
As some people say, I don't know if you have seen this interpretation, even though you have made reference to perceived glitches. But, you know, some people say that this is the president's, this is the president's own doing. That somehow he tried to paint the National Assembly in bad light.
Really?
The manner in which he sent the letter to the National Assembly requesting, saying that the budget is already too big. First of all, we would like you to take the money out of what you appropriated for constituency projects and then provide for the rest in the 2019 budget, which has not been presented. We're already looking at September, which has not been presented, so we do not even know when that is going to be passed. And some people were saying, how is this supposed to work in the very first instance?
If anybody begins to impute motives that are dishonorable to the president, then they don't know the man. The president is only actuated by love and service for Nigeria, and he wants the best for the country at all times. He needs nothing else from Nigeria rather than to serve.